Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, we're gonna be talking about TMJ, that tension around the jaw. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get better than that, so take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, like I said, today we're gonna be talking about TMJ, that tension and discomfort around the joint itself where the mandible and your temple actually meet, and the muscles around that are causing a little bit of an issue up here. But the important thing to understand, and we're going to take a look at this, is that TMJ could be completely related to other issues that are happening downstream from that. And it's really cool to look at the connection that our temple has all the way down into our lower leg. And that is really how far it can go. So when we look at things like fascia, it's important to understand that fascia is about force transfer. Okay, it's the main player in movement. It allows us to transfer force effectively to create movement. But when there are issues along fascial lines, this can cause dysfunction anywhere above or below that point of the issue. So when we look at the deep frontal fascial line, it's a connection from our temple through the mandible, the front musculature of the neck, deep through our diaphragm. It connects to our QL, our psoas, and a lot of the pelvic floor muscles right around your pelvis there, and the adductors and the posterior knee down into the lower leg there. So that is the fascial chain that we're actually looking at. Meaning, if there's issues down below at the posterior knee and lower calf region, if there's issues at your pelvic floor, or if you have issues with your hips and pelvis and the control of your pelvis, this could be playing into it. Or if you're even breathing incorrectly and not using your diaphragm correctly, these are all things that could be negatively impacting and leading into the cause of your TMJ. Of course, neck positioning and head positioning are also at play there. So even these muscles, again, at the front of the neck could be part of that issue. What I'm going to be showing you today are exercises specifically to help you right around this head and neck region, but I'll even try and tie in a little bit of that lower portion to some of them to allow you, or at least talk about diaphragmatic breathing, and also give you some other ideas that might be important as we go along with the pelvic floor and lumbopelvic control and hip control, those types of things as well. So there are exercises specifically for your jaw and neck, head region, but it's important again that we consider what's going on down below. Ready? Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is work on a little bit of jaw, neck, and head action here. So we're gonna jut the jaw and reach the head out. I'm using a wall just as some guidance here to kind of provide a little bit of feedback on my movements. So I want to jut the jaw, pull the head off the wall. As I pull the head off the wall, I can add another movement to tie in that psoas and lumbar pelvic region, and that can be an arch of the lumbar spine. So as I reach out, jut the jaw, and also arch the spine, I'm creating the natural movements, and we're testing both ends here of that spectrum. So when I pull the jaw back in and retract the jaw, I want to also flatten my neck as much as possible to the wall and my lumbar spine again. If it's a little bit too much to coordinate at first, both the lower portion and the upper, just do what I'm doing here with the head and jaw. So focus on the jaw jut, reaching out as far as you can, extending the head off the wall, and then pulling back, tucking the chin into the Adam's apple. Next, we're gonna look up and down with the same jaw jut and retraction of the jaw here. So we want to be jutting the jaw, reaching the chin for the ceiling, tipping the head back, and then also tucking the chin to the Adam's apple. And again, you can tie in those same lumbo-pelvic movements. So as the jaw juts reaching for the ceiling, you can arch the lumbar spine. You might naturally feel it do that a little bit. And then as you tuck the jaw and retract it back to the Adam's apple, make sure that you are lengthening the neck as much as possible in this movement. The next exercise is controlled articular rotations of the jaw. So what we want to do is imagine a circle that we're drawing with our jaw, making it as full as possible, trying to really trace the outline of that circle. You're going to go both directions on those circles. What I recommend is getting one direction going first, really feeling that control, and then switching over to the other. You might spend about 1 minute in each direction. You can also add a little bit of a massage at your temple. So if you take your index and middle finger up to your temple as the jaw is circulating, you can give yourself a gentle circular massage from those fingers at the temple to help relieve tension in that area. And lastly, we're going to do a little contract, relax of the masseter muscle. Okay, so what we want to do is actually clench our jaw, and then we're going to hold that clench for about 5 to 10 seconds till we really feel the muscle working. And on the release, what we want to do is, again, with the fingers, the index and middle, start to massage the masseter in a circular movement, trying to search out any tenderness to the pressure of those fingers. And imagine the muscle melting around it, being gentle as we apply that pressure and really allowing the muscle to relax. If you find those tender points, you can apply that contraction of the jaw again for another 5 to 10 seconds. And again, on the release, allow the muscles to melt over your fingertips, really getting into the tissues and feeling the muscle relax around the pressure that you're applying from those fingers. Another variation you can add here is sitting in a butterfly position against the wall with your feet together, the soles of your feet, knees opening wide. And this will tie in that adductor tie of that deep frontal fascial line. But everything up above still applies. It's just changing the base to allow a different position for us to work from with the deep frontal fascial line in mind. And that's a one you can look up on Google, check it out, look at the line, and you'll see how that all ties together. It's very interesting. Lastly, one of the most important things we can check is how you are breathing. This is called a 90-90 position. What you want to do is put your feet up on the wall so your knees are at 90 degrees and your hips are at 90 degrees. And you're going to place one hand on your abdomen and the other on your chest. Now this is so we can ensure that you are diaphragmatically breathing. Keep your tongue lightly touched to the roof of your mouth so it's slightly suctioned with the tip of your tongue behind your front 2 teeth, lips sealed, and we're nasally breathing only. So this is nasal diaphragmatic breathing only here. What we should see is the hand on the abdomen rising and lowering while the hand on the chest stays completely still. This is ensuring that we are using our diaphragm correctly, making sure that we are breathing the way that we are intended to breathe through our nose as much as possible. It's also going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, so this can be helpful to decrease tension and stress, because a lot of times if you look at this deep frontal fascial line, it's a lot of the muscles that people hold tension in and stress in regularly. So here we're going to naturally control that stress a little bit better by just simply taking some time to breathe. You want to feel your jaw stay relaxed, no clenching, just settling into the position and focusing on the breath without tension. You can challenge the deep amount of air that you're about to breathe in and the exhale that you're about to do with little bits of timed counting. So building up the amount of inhale and the amount of exhale gradually as you get more comfortable with just the nasal and diaphragmatic piece of that first. All right, and there you have it. A few simple exercises that you can use to help you restore natural function of your jaw and that head and neck positioning, but also other important considerations that you need to be aware of to make sure that your TMJ isn't being driven down below by the pelvic floor, the psoas, the QL, the adductors, the lower leg. Any of those, again, could be at play. So if you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend. If you know they struggle with TMJ or tension in the jaw there, then this would be something helpful to pass along to them, show them some love. If you're somebody who wants direct help resolving some of the bigger issues at hand, if you recognize that you have anterior pelvic tilt or poor pelvic control, if you struggle with lower limb mobility or tight adductors that are chronically in tension, if you have issues of poor posture and head positioning and you want help correcting those, what I want you to do right now is drop down below in the description to fill out a coaching application and get your mobility blueprint call scheduled. This is my opportunity to visually assess you over a Zoom call, take you through some movements, see where we're lacking in control and overall stability, and overall write up a tailored mobility program specifically for your needs and goals. And this will help you resolve bigger issues overall in the grand scheme as we go ahead and knock off those movement limitations that are glaring and showing the issues and feeding outward. So if that sounds good to you, what I want you to do right now is drop down in that description, fill out that coaching application, get your call scheduled, and we'll start moving you in the right direction. This is also our opportunity to answer any questions that you have about online coaching and how that programming would work, so we can clearly lay that all out for you as well. So take advantage of that opportunity. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in the daily life and routine, and it does not get better than that. Take advantage of it. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. We'll see you next week.